Admiral Catherine Kate Morgan stood at the forward viewport of the Earthborn Vengeance, her augmented eyes reflecting the crystalline spires of Nexus Prime, the Galactic Council's seat of power. The neural interface at the base of her skull hummed softly as it processed the tactical data streaming through her consciousness. 500,000 years of preparation had led to this moment. Admiral, her executive officer, Commander James Hayes, approached with calculated precision. The fleet is in position. All ships report ready. Kate didn't turn from the view. The memory archives were active now, flooding her mind with the experiences of her ancestors. She could feel their terror, their rage, their determination. The day the Council ships darkened Earth's skies was burned into the collective memory of their species. "Show me the historic overlay," she commanded, her voice steady, despite the emotions churning through her system. The viewport shimmed, and suddenly she was looking at two images superimposed: the current glory of Nexus Prime and the burning ruins of old Earth. The Council had called themselves peacekeepers, guardians of galactic stability. They'd claimed humanity was too unpredictable, too chaotic, to join their perfect society. Their solution had been simple: extermination. But they'd made one critical mistake. They hadn't finished the job. "Priority message from the Artemis," Hayes reported. "Captain Chen reports, the quantum web is ready for activation." Kate allowed herself a small smile. The quantum web was just one of countless technologies they'd developed during their exile. While the Council had stagnated in their pursuit of perfect order, humanity had evolved. Both their bodies and their minds had been enhanced, pushed beyond what the Council would even recognize as human. "Begin surface scan," she ordered, her augmented eyes shifting through spectrum layers. "I want to see their defenses." The data flooded her neural interface. Energy shields, automated defense systems, patrol patterns, all of it hopelessly obsolete to what humanity had become. The Council's technology had barely advanced in 500,000 years. They'd been too afraid of change, too committed to their vision of perfect stability. "Admiral," Hayes's voice carried a note of concern, "we're detecting increased activity in their defense grid. They may have noticed our presence despite the cloaking fields." "Let them look," Kate replied, finally turning from the viewport. Her movement was fluid, almost predatory. The genetic enhancements that had helped humanity survive in deep space had given them a grace that would have seemed alien to their ancestors. "They won't see us until we want to be seen." The bridge of the Earthborn Vengeance was a testament to how far they'd come. Organic technology merged seamlessly with mechanical interfaces. The crew worked in perfect synchronization, their neural links allowing them to communicate at the speed of thought. They were no longer just a military force. They were a single organism united in purpose. Kate accessed the fleet's tactical network. Hundreds of ships hung in the void, their advanced cloaking systems making them invisible to even the most sophisticated Council sensors. Each vessel was a masterpiece of human innovation, powered by technologies the Council had deemed impossible. "Send the signal to the Coalition," she commanded. "It's time our allies took their positions." Hayes nodded, his own neural interface pulsing as he transmitted the orders. Across Council space, other species were preparing to reveal themselves, races the Council had tried to destroy, all saved and protected by humanity during their long exile. Kate felt the weight of history in this moment. The neural archives showed her countless faces, the billions who had died when Earth burned, the generations who had lived and died in exile, all leading to this day. But they weren't here for simple revenge. They were here to prove the Council wrong about everything. "Initialize first contact protocols," she ordered, straightening her uniform. "Let's show them just how unpredictable humanity can be." The bridge crew snapped to attention, their enhanced bodies coiled with controlled energy. In a few hours, the Council would learn that their greatest mistake hadn't been trying to destroy humanity. It had been giving them 500,000 years to perfect their response. "Signal when you're ready, Commander Hayes," Kate said, a predatory smile playing across her face. "It's time to reintroduce ourselves to the galaxy." The grand chamber of the Galactic Council stretched before Kate Morgan like a cathedral built by giants. Crystal pillars rose hundreds of meters into the air, their surfaces refracting light in patterns meant to awe visitors into submission. The Admiral allowed herself a moment of appreciation. It was beautiful, in its own rigid way. "Unidentified delegate," the Chief Archon's voice boomed through the chamber. "You have bypassed multiple security protocols to request this audience. Explain yourself." Kate took her time walking forward, her diplomatic robes concealing the advanced biotechnology that made her more than human. The council members watched from their elevated seats, their ancient faces showing a mix of curiosity and disdain. None of them recognized what she was. Evolution had changed humanity's appearance too much for that. "Honorable Council," she began, speaking their ceremonial language with perfect inflection, "I come before you as a voice from your past." The effect was immediate. The Chief Archon's 4 eyes widened, their inner membranes flickering in shock. The language she spoke had been dead for millennia, used only in their most sacred historical records. "Impossible," one of the junior council members whispered. "That dialect died out before you destroyed my homeworld." Kate's voice carried an edge sharp enough to cut through the stunned silence. With a thought, she activated the quantum projectors hidden throughout the chamber. The air above her filled with images. Earth's cities burning, council ships darkening the sky, billions dying in nuclear fire. The council guards moved forward, their weapons raised. Kate didn't even glance at them. Through her neural interface, she'd already disabled their equipment. The triggers would never fire. "I am Admiral Catherine Morgan," she announced, her voice echoing through the chamber. "And I represent the species you tried to erase from history, humanity." The word sent ripples of recognition through the assembled aliens. The older council members drew back in their seats, while the younger ones leaned forward in fascination. Humanity was deemed too dangerous for integration, the Chief Archon declared, but his voice lacked its earlier confidence. The decision was made. By a council that feared what it couldn't control. Kate cut him off. Her augmented eyes shifted color, a reminder of how far her species had evolved. 500,000 years ago, you decided we were too unpredictable, too chaotic. Tell me, how has your quest for perfect order worked out? She gestured, and new images filled the air. Council worlds stagnating under rigid control. Species after species deemed unfit and eliminated. A galaxy slowly dying of enforced stability. "This is sedition," another council member declared. "Guards, remove this." The words died in their throat as Kate's fleet decloaked around the capital. Through the chamber's transparent ceiling, thousands of ships became visible, their designs unlike anything the council had seen before. "We didn't just survive your attempted genocide," Kate continued, walking closer to the council's elevated platform. "We evolved, we adapted, and we found others like us, species you tried to destroy, all protected now under humanity's shield." The Chief Archon's face had lost its color. "What do you want?" Kate smiled, and it was not a kind expression. "First, I want you to understand what you created when you tried to destroy us. Your perfect order forced us to embrace chaos, to push the boundaries of evolution itself. Every adaptation, every enhancement, every achievement, they're all because of you." She reached up and removed a small device from her neural port. The holographic display changed, showing current tactical data. Council defense systems were already going dark, their networks infiltrated by technology they couldn't comprehend. But most importantly, Kate's voice carried the weight of 500,000 years of preparation. "I want you to know that everything that happens next everything we've become, is the direct result of your greatest mistake. You should have made sure we were really dead." The chamber erupted into chaos as alarms began to sound throughout the capital. Humanity's return had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The holographic displays around Kate Morgan danced with information as she stood before the panicking council. Emergency alerts flashed through the capital's networks, each one systematically silenced by human AI systems that had infiltrated their infrastructure centuries ago. "You know," Kate said, her voice cutting through the chaos like a blade, "we spent almost 100,000 years debating how to handle this moment. Some wanted simple revenge. To do to you what you did to Earth." She gestured, and new holograms appeared, showing council worlds from orbit. It would have been easy. Your defenses were obsolete 3 centuries ago. The chief archon had regained some of his composure, though his secondary hearts were still visibly pulsing with stress. "If not revenge, then what do you want, human?" Kate's augmented eyes shifted through combat spectrums as she assessed the room. The guards were still trying to restore their weapons, while junior council members whispered frantically into communication devices that no longer connected to anything. "Justice," she said simply. With a neural command, she activated the next phase of their plan. Throughout council space, hidden quantum transmitters began broadcasting, but not just for humanity, for everyone you've tried to erase. The chamber's main display screen activated, showing feeds from across the galaxy. On world after world, ships were appearing. Vessels of designs the Council had never seen, crewed by species they'd fought long dead. "Impossible," a council member whispered. "The crystalline mines were eliminated 300,000 years ago." Kate finished for him. "We found their last outpost, helped them rebuild. The living storms of Centauri. We gave them sanctuary when you declared them too unstable to exist. The Quantum-Bound Collective. They've been helping us design ships for the last 50,000 years." She walked in a circle, making eye contact with each council member. Her neural interface was recording everything, adding to the archives that would be shared across their coalition. Every species you deemed too unpredictable, too chaotic, too different, we found them, protected them, helped them evolve beyond what you tried to reduce them to. And now they're all here, ready to help us reform a galaxy that's dying under your control. The chief archon rose from his seat, his ceremonial robes rustling. "You speak of justice, yet you threaten us with military force. How does this make you different from what you claim we are?" Kate smiled, and for the first time, it reached her eyes. "Because I'm going to give you a choice." She raised her hand, and the hologram shifted to show a new image. A massive space station, unlike anything the Council had seen. "This is freedom's cradle. It's where we've been helping species you cast aside learn to thrive together. And it's where we'll hold the trial." Trial. Several council members spoke at once. "A fair one," Kate confirmed, "with representatives from every species in the galaxy, including yours. You'll have the chance to defend your actions, to explain why you believe genocide was the answer to diversity. And then together, we'll decide the future of galactic civilization." She paused, letting the implications sink in. Through her neural feed, she could see the reactions spreading across council space as their broadcasts reached more worlds. Already, some of the younger species were expressing support for the human initiative. "Your choice is simple," Kate continued. "Step down voluntarily, submit to the trial, and help us build something better. Or," she let the threat hang unspoken as her fleet's weapons systems powered up just enough to register on council sensors. The chief archon's face had gone pale. "How long have you been planning this?" Kate's expression was one of perfect, calculated satisfaction. 500,000 years of evolution taught us patience. Every move we've made since you burned Earth has led to this moment. The only question now is, will you face justice with dignity, or will you force us to show you just how far beyond your understanding we've evolved? The council chamber fell silent as the ultimate architects of order faced the children of chaos they'd created and found themselves completely outmaneuvered. Kate Morgan's neural interface hummed with satisfaction as the first transmission came through. Right on schedule, the crystalline minds of Europa emerged from their quantum-fold space near the Council's primary shipyards. Their vessels, geometric perfection made real, glittered like diamond fractals against the void. Fascinating design, isn't it? She asked the stunned council. They were master architects before you decided their crystal-based technology was too unpredictable. Now they build ships that can phase through solid matter. The council's military advisor, a species that looked like a cross between an earth mantis and a cedar tree, leaned forward. Our records show the crystalline mines were completely eliminated. Their star system was sterilized. Your records, Kate said with a predatory smile, are as obsolete as your defense systems. She gestured, and a new hologram appeared. A massive sanctuary world hidden in slipped space. While you were patting yourselves on the back for another successful genocide, humanity was learning how to create pocket dimensions. The crystalline minds taught us how to manipulate space-time in exchange for protection. Before the council could respond, another alert flashed through the neural net. The living storms of Centauri had arrived, their ships looking like bottled hurricanes of purple lightning and dark matter. They took up position near the council's primary energy production facilities. "Ah, the Storm Lords," Kate commented, watching several council members flinch. "You called them too chaotic because they existed partially in energy state. Now they power most of our advanced technology. Funny how chaos becomes innovation when you're not afraid of change." The chief archon's facial membranes had gone nearly transparent with stress. "How many?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "How many species did you save?" Kate finished for him. "Let's find out together." She activated a special frequency through her neural interface. "This is Admiral Morgan. All coalition forces, show yourselves." The space around the capital exploded with activity. The quantum-bound collective appeared in their reality warping ships, vessels that existed in multiple dimensional states at once. The Silicon Dreams, beings of living crystal and light that the Council had deemed too alien to communicate with, emerged from their subspace havens. The Void Dancers, the Star Shapers, the Memory Weavers. Species after species thought long dead revealed themselves. "We found them all," Kate said, her voice carrying the weight of centuries. "Every species you tried to erase because they didn't fit your perfect order. We gave them sanctuary, helped them rebuild, and learned from each other. Together, we've created technologies and societies that you can't even comprehend." She walked to the chamber center, where a new hologram formed, a massive structure hidden between dimensions. "This is Haven's heart. While you were maintaining your stagnant empire, we built a civilization based on protection rather than persecution, innovation rather than fear." The council chamber had gone deathly quiet as the reality of their situation sank in. Their perfect order had been infiltrated long ago, not by enemies seeking revenge, but by protectors building something new. The quantum-bound collective helped us develop our neural interfaces, Kate continued, each word another nail in the council's coffin of complacency. The Silicon Dreams taught us how to evolve our physical forms. The living storms showed us how to harness energy in ways you'd never imagine. Every species you cast aside became part of something greater. She turned to face the chief archon directly. "You thought you were creating perfect order by eliminating the unpredictable. Instead, you forced us all to evolve beyond your understanding. Everything you see here, every ship, every technology, every alliance, was born from your fear of difference. The chamber's displays showed more ships arriving every second, each one a testament to what could be achieved when species work together instead of fearing each other's differences. "Welcome," Kate said with a smile that held 500,000 years of vindication, "to the future you never saw coming." The Chief Archon's hand trembled as he reached for the emergency protocol override. Kate Morgan watched him with the patient amusement of a chess master observing an amateur's predictable move. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," she said softly, but the warning in her voice was clear. "Your defense grid hasn't actually been under your control for the past 3 centuries. Impossible," the military advisor snarled, his tree-like appendages rustling with agitation. "Our systems are isolated, protected. There's no way." Kate's eyes flickered with neural activity. Above the chamber, the artificial gravity disappeared. Council members and guards alike floated helplessly as she remained anchored through her advanced biotechnology. "Would you like to see how we did it?" she asked, her voice carrying a hint of professional pride. "The Quantum-Bound Collective helped us develop what we call deep-time infiltration. We seeded your networks with dormant programs that evolved alongside your security updates. They're as much a part of your systems as the original code now." She restored the gravity with a thought, letting the council members drop unceremoniously back into their seats. Through her neural interface, she could see the panic spreading through the Capitol as more of their systems reported critical failures. "But that's just the beginning," Kate continued, gesturing to the holographic displays. They showed council ships throughout the galaxy, their engines and weapons going dark. "Right now, every vessel in your fleet is being systematically disabled. Don't worry, life support will remain active. We're not monsters, after all." The Chief Archon had gone completely pale. "What have you done to our ships?" "We?" Kate laughed, the sound echoing through the chamber. "Your own crews are doing this. You see, when the Silicon Dreams taught us how to evolve our bodies, they also showed us how to develop something new: direct neural integration with technology. Your younger officers have been watching us demonstrate true power. They're making their choice." As if to prove her point, the chamber's main screen lit up with transmissions from across council space. Ships' captains, station commanders, even planetary governors, all pledging allegiance to the coalition. 500,000 years gave us time to perfect more than just technology, Kate explained, her voice taking on a teaching tone. "We learned how to create change from within. Your own people have been quietly supporting us for generations, waiting for this moment." She raised her hand, and the air around her began to shimmer. The council members watched in horror as she seemed to phase partially out of reality, her form becoming semi-transparent before solidifying again. "The living storms taught us how to exist between states of matter," she said, enjoying their shocked expressions. "The crystalline minds showed us how to manipulate quantum fields with a thought. Every species you cast aside added something new to our evolution. We're not just coming back for justice. We're coming to show you what you could have been if you hadn't been so afraid of change." Suddenly, the chamber's lights flickered. When they stabilized, representatives of the coalition species had appeared throughout the room. Some solid, some energy, some existing in states the council had no words to describe. "Your perfect order is over," Kate declared, her voice carrying the weight of victory without the burden of malice. "But we're not here to destroy you. We're here to show you a better way. Your young already see it. Your crews are embracing it. The only question is, will you continue to cling to your fear, or will you finally learn to evolve?" The Chief Archon looked around the chamber, at the beings his predecessors had tried to destroy, at the humans they had failed to eliminate, and at his own people who were choosing a new path. "What?" He swallowed hard. "What happens now?" Kate's smile was both triumphant and surprisingly kind. Now we show you what real civilization looks like. One built on cooperation instead of control, on evolution instead of stagnation. Welcome to the future, Chief Archon. Try to keep up. The council chamber's displays erupted with a flood of incoming transmissions. Kate Morgan watched with quiet satisfaction as the carefully laid plans of centuries unfolded. The younger council species were making their move, just as humanity had predicted they would. Another transmission from the Varaxian colonies. Commander Hayes reported through their neural link. They're formally requesting coalition protection and declaring independence from council authority. The Chief Archon's secondary hearts were now visibly pulsing through his ceremonial robes. The Varaxians, but they've been loyal for 50,000 years. Loyal? Kate asked, her augmented eyes shifting to focus on him. Or just afraid? She gestured, and a new hologram appeared, showing the Varaxian home system. Did you know they've been developing their own neural interface technology, in secret? Of course not. You were too busy making sure they stayed within your approved development guidelines. The military advisor slammed his crystalline staff against the floor. This is sedition. The council will not stand for. The council, a new voice interrupted, no longer speaks for all of us. All eyes turned to the chamber entrance. Arxis Fen, the youngest member of the council and representative of the technologically advanced Meridian worlds, stood there with several other junior council members. Ambassador Ven, the Chief Archon warning. Consider your next words very carefully. Oh, I have, Arxis replied, moving to stand near Kate. For the past 20 years, since human agents first contacted me and showed me what the galaxy could be, what we could all become if we stopped living in fear of change. More alerts flashed across the neural network. The Meridian Defense Fleet, one of the most powerful in Council space, was powering down its weapons. Through the chamber's windows, everyone could see their ships realigning to join the coalition forces. It's not just the Meridians, Kate added, her voice carrying a note of pride. Show them, Arxis. The young council member raised his hand, and his form shifted, revealing neural augmentations similar to Kate's. We've been learning from humanity. Evolution isn't something to be feared. It's a gift. And now, others will have the same choice. The chamber erupted into chaos as more council members began declaring their positions. Centuries of hidden resentment and suppressed ambition burst to the surface. The older species clung to their beliefs in perfect order, while the younger ones embraced the promise of change. This was your plan all along, the Chief Archon realized, looking at Kate with new understanding. Not to destroy us, but to break us apart from within. The Coalition offers protection to any species that wishes to join us, Kate announced, her voice cutting through the discord. Your people will be free to develop, to evolve, to become what they choose to be. No more restrictions, no more fear of being too unpredictable. Through her neural feed, she watched as similar scenes played out across council space. Station commanders, planetary governors, fleet admirals, all making their choice between the old order and the new future. The quantum-bound collective reports success. Hayes updated through their link. The Council's primary communication network has been fully decrypted. Should we release the historical archives? Kate smiled. Show them everything. The chamber's holographic systems activated at full power, displaying thousands of hidden council records. Every species they'd declared too dangerous to exist. Every civilization they'd tried to erase. All their secrets exposed to the galaxy. Your perfect order was built on genocide, Kate declared, but her voice held no hatred. We're offering something different. A galaxy where difference is celebrated, where evolution is embraced, where fear doesn't dictate policy. Arxis stepped forward, his neural augments glowing. I move to formally dissolve the current council structure and accept the coalition's offer of protection. The vote that followed wasn't even close. 500,000 years of rigid control crumbled. In less than an hour, not through violence or revenge, but through the simple power of showing people a better way. The trial chamber aboard Freedom's cradle dwarfed even the Council's Grand Hall. Representatives from over 1,000 species filled the circular auditorium, their forms ranging from pure energy to crystalline structures to organic matter. Kate Morgan stood at the center, her neural interface connected to the station's network, broadcasting the proceedings to every corner of known space. "We are not here for revenge," she began, her voice carrying to all present, both physical and digital. "We are here to remember, to learn, and to ensure such atrocities never happen again." The former Chief Archon and his inner circle sat in the defendant section, their once grand robes replaced by simple gray garments. They looked small now, stripped of their authority and faced with the consequences of their actions. "The neural archives will now be shared," Kate announced, nodding to a group of memory weavers. "For those who consent, you will experience the full truth of what happened, not just to Earth, but to every species the Council tried to erase." The memory weavers, beings of pure mental energy that the Council had once declared too dangerous to exist, began their work. The Chamber's advanced systems translated their neural patterns into a form all present could experience. Suddenly, the room was filled with the memories of Earth's last day. The Council ships darkening the sky, the terror of billions, the final desperate attempts to save what could be saved. But then, something the Council had never seen: the survival, the evolution, the growth of humanity in exile. "Watch," Kate commanded, as the memories shifted. "See what your fear of difference cost the galaxy." The memories flowed like a river, the crystalline minds, their cities shattered. The living storms hunted through the void. Species after species, each with their own story of survival against the Council's perfect order. But then came the change. Humans finding them, protecting them, learning from them, growing together. "Your Honor," the Chief Archon spoke up, his voice shaking. "We believed we were protecting galactic stability. The risks were far less than the cost of your actions," Kate interrupted. She gestured, and new data streamed through the neural network. "Our scientists have calculated the lost potential, the technologies that were never developed, the discoveries that were never made. Your fear of change didn't just kill billions. It held back the entire galaxy." A crystalline mind floated forward, its faceted surface reflecting the chamber's light. "We could have taught you how to build cities that repair themselves, to create materials that defy the laws of physics as you understood them. Our storms could have powered your worlds without cost." A living storm added, its voice like thunder through the neural network. "We could have shown you how to dance between matter and energy." One by one, representatives of the persecuted species stepped forward, each revealing what could have been if the Council had chosen cooperation over control. The weight of lost potential filled the chamber like a physical force. "The verdict is not in question," Kate continued, her eyes sweeping the room. "Your guilt has been established through your own records. The question before us is, what form will justice take?" She raised her hand, and a new hologram appeared, a massive education center. "You will help build this. Every member of the former Council will spend the rest of their lives teaching others about what happened. Your experiences, your mistakes, your understanding of where fear led you. All of it will serve as a lesson for future generations." The Chief Archon's face showed a mix of relief and confusion. "You're not going to execute us." Kate's laugh was genuinely amused. "Kill you? That would be far too easy. No, you're going to live. You're going to watch as every species you try to destroy surpasses your wildest dreams. You're going to see the galaxy evolve beyond anything you could have imagined. And you're going to help make it happen." The sentence was passed with no opposition. As the former Council members were led away, Kate looked out at the assembled species, once victims, now architects of a new future. Let the galaxy remember this day, she declared, not as an ending, but as a beginning. The age of fear is over. The age of evolution has begun. Kate Morgan stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Unity station, orbiting a terraformed Earth. Through her neural interface, she could feel the pulse of a changed galaxy. Thousands of species working together, each contributing their unique perspectives and abilities to a greater whole. Admiral. Commander Hayes approached, his own neural augments glowing softly. The last of the memorial beacons has been activated. The network is complete. She nodded, watching as a crystalline mineship phased through the station's outer ring, its crew working in perfect harmony with the living storm engineers to install new power systems. Below, Earth's surface glittered with cities that blended technology from 100 different species. "Show me the network status," she commanded softly. The air around them filled with holographic displays. Across the galaxy, memorial beacons pulsed with stored memories, not just of destruction and survival, but of everything that came after. The Council's former chamber had been transformed into the galaxy's largest historical archive, where the former Chief Archon now spent his days teaching young species about the price of fear. "It's strange," Kate mused, her augmented eyes reflecting the starlight. 500,000 years of planning, and I never really thought about what would come after victory. A group of quantum-bound collective members materialized nearby, their multi-dimensional forms shifting like living fractals. They were leading a class of young beings from various species, teaching them how to perceive reality beyond traditional spacetime. "The latest evolution reports are in," Hayes offered, sharing the data through their neural link. "The younger council species are advancing faster than anyone predicted. The Varaxians have already developed their own version of neural integration." Kate smiled, remembering the fear in the council chamber just 1 year ago. Now those same chambers hosted innovation conferences where species freely shared their discoveries. The Silicon Dreams were teaching organic races how to modify their forms, while the Memory Weavers helped preserve the experiences of each culture. "And the former council members?" she asked, though she already knew the answer through the network. "Most have fully embraced their new role as teachers," Hayes replied. "The Chief Archon actually requested additional memory storage to document more historical accounts. He says understanding the past is key to building the future." A soft chime indicated an incoming neural transmission. The Combined Science Council, a new organization made up of all species, had made another breakthrough. By combining the quantum-bound collective's understanding of dimensional physics with the living storm's energy manipulation, they'd found a way to create stable wormholes. 500,000 years ago, Kate said, her voice carrying both pride and wonder, the Council thought they were eliminating threats to their perfect order. Instead, they forced us all to evolve beyond their wildest nightmares. She turned as a group of children entered the observation deck, human kids walking alongside young crystalline minds and energy beings, all of them friends despite their differences. They were growing up in a galaxy where diversity wasn't just accepted, it was essential. "Neural Archive update ready," the station's AI announced. "Would you like to record your final statement?" Kate nodded, activating her full neural connection. These words would join the vast network of memories that now spanned the galaxy, a testament to what they'd achieved. "We came back for revenge," she began, speaking to future generations. "But we found something better. We found a way to build a civilization that thrives on the very chaos the Council feared. Every species brings something new, something unexpected. And in those differences, we found our greatest strength." She looked out at the stars, now filled with ships of every conceivable design, carrying beings that the old Council would never have believed could coexist. "The age of perfect order is over," she declared. Welcome to the age of beautiful chaos. Welcome to a galaxy where every species is free to evolve, to change, to become something new. This is humanity's true victory, not destroying what was, but building what could be. As her words joined the memorial network, Kate Morgan, the admiral who had orchestrated the greatest transformation in galactic history, smiled at the chaos around her. It was perfect, in its own wonderfully unpredictable way.